A movie that really got my attention was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. How can you argue with a title like that? Pretty easily, but I'm still psyched to see it. I even got the bootleg DVD. Came for free with my Ik Fu Young. Where most people watched Lincoln, then watched it again, then pretty much watched it a third time at the Oscars, I decided to go against the grain and watch that shameless vamp flick that passed everyone by, as well as one of the few Abraham Lincoln movies that would make the former president spin in his grave. So ALVH starts with, this doesn't look right. Wait, this isn't the right movie. Dang it, you Lee gave me the wrong movie on purpose and scribbled this misleading fanged Abraham Lincoln to make me want this. Oh, and what's this, you ask? Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. Yeah. The 2001 Kung Fu action comedy horror musical about the Second Coming. Sound terrible? Well, that's just IMDb. Any sane person would just laugh and walk away, but I'm going to review this. Why? Because it has Jesus in the title. It can't be that bad. Vampires of the Night. That's the hook. But a Lord and Savior defeating them? That's the good hook. The movie opens with Alice the maid here being attacked by, well, a vampire. Or vampire-S. I feel so classy right now. Well, that feeling didn't last long. The vampire-S, a Maxine Schreck, steals the car of the victim, leaving no evidence of her crime. Except for, the evidence, like fingerprints, but whatever. The next day, Maxine makes sure her teeth are still fake, and then she delivers perhaps the most quotable line in the entire movie.
Where have all our lesbians gone?
And where are all the gone? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising odds?
Father Eustace is on his way to meet Father Alban and discuss the main dilemma happening. The, read it with me, critical shortage of lesbians in Ottawa.
Oshawott.
No, Ottawa. And the evidently smaller story of latest vampire murder baffles. If you have a serial killer who targets, let's say, elderly black women, is your headline going to say A, serial killer targets elderly women, or B, shortage of old black ladies?
I came up there to read another of these headlines.
So Father Alban and some other guy ride to the beach just in time to see Jesus baptizing someone, and he even pinches her nose for her. Gotta protect the actress.
Lemonade?
Will there be enough?
Oh, there'll be plenty.
Yeah, I don't want to drink that. 1, you picked it up out of the sand. 2, some other dude just drank out of it. And 3, it looks like pee. So Father Alban, how are you going to get out of this one?
I thirst for nothing but justice for the fallen sheep
Okay,
of
that
our
was
flock.
safe. Oh no, it's those daylight vampires I've heard so much about. So intimidating that her boot doesn't even have to make contact.
Body of Christ?
Body dirty! Jesus tells the priest to go bless the water, which I can only imagine is supposed to be some protection against the vampires. Unfortunately, both are fatally bitten. Wow, it's like telling them to get in the water was as good a defense as just getting in the water. Jesus throws the remaining vampires in the water, apparently struggling with the second one. What, you gotta build up momentum? And they begin to melt or something because the water is now holy water thanks to both priests blessing it. So after the death of his friends, naturally, Jesus gets a haircut and an earring. Jesus Christ! Has an earring! You can't respect a man of God, let alone the Son of God, if they have an earring. Pastor Gus didn't teach you nothing.
Here I am at my destination.
Forgot the musical number? Well, it's a thing that happens. It's the only musical number. You've seen better, but you've also seen worse.
Hey everyone, here is your chance to do right. Step out of the tunnel and into the light.
No, thank you. Transition!
This is John Golan. He worked for a local television station and produced public service announcements for the church's charity work. A good soul. He was the first member of my congregation to disappear. Miriam Schreider, a successful concert promoter. She's been missing for nearly 8 months now.
A member of my congregation who's been missing for nearly 8 months now. Seriously, dude, no one tries to emulate William Shatner, not even Chris Pine. It's time for a fight scene!
Hello, Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. Te insulto por pronunciar mal su nombre. I think. You suck.
Hello, Jesus. You don't know us because we've never talked to you before. We are the atheists.
You'll never defeat our clown car routine of atheists who had nothing better to do on a Sunday. So let me guess, they're going to fight one by one, completely missing the point of attacking in a group. Oh wait, that looks like teamwork. Oh my gosh, this is the first fight scene to ever do this. They're gonna win. No, they're idiots, my bad. Okay, Jesus, I want a good clean fight. No holy water, blessings, or prayers, you hear me? So they send out another 6. I'm starting to see a pattern here. They all fight one at a time and get it handed to them. My turn! Ooh, do me next! Whoa! Another 6 get out of the van. This is getting ridiculous. Then another 6 get out. Some look like they have no business fighting anyone. Then another 7 pop out of the van. Then they send out numbers 32 through 34. I'm dead serious. And after defeating them, Jesus must fight the deadly Buddhist. Yeah, I think Ralph can twirl a staff. You want to make him like the last dude that he fights or something? So the 2 final atheist challengers, guy in a suit and inappropriately dressed woman, try to take on Jesus themselves. You know, I just realized something. If they thought it was Jesus, why'd they think a few random slobs were gonna defeat him? But they're atheists, so they didn't think it was Jesus. So they organized 35 people to beat up on a man in a park? In broad daylight? This is Mary Magnum, the totally necessary Foxy sidekick. Try and pay attention while she explains the science behind the movie.
Our research indicates that authentic vampirism is actually what we've come to term a quantum infection, acting sometimes as a virus, other times as a bacterium, still other times as a fungal infestation, which may explain the pallor of the afflicted individual, depending on the observer. Even under strict lab conditions, it's impossible to batch test vampire tissue samples. The results are just too chaotic. We suspect that the vampire's vulnerability to light has something to do with the fact that light exists as both a particle and a wave, again depending on the observer. You follow?
Very scientific. Can you also explain how your laptop works in the sauna? So we get a second makeover scene because in a movie about Jesus and vampires, one just isn't enough.
How much?
For you, free as OJ.
Well, that reference wouldn't be dated for 10 years, so I'll give it to him. So the 2 tail Mac scene to hopefully lead them to a hideout. They go in the sewers and somehow make it into the air vents, and they discover Dr. Praetorius, who's working with the vampires creating skin grafts to give them immunity to sunlight.
Give me a call when you're done with her body work. Whoa, speaking of body work, hey Max, how'd you find me?
Follow the screams, Johnny, just like always. Can you zip me up?
Wow. Who's that?
She's a vampire.
Oh, too bad.
I saw her kill 2 priests with my own eyes.
Is that supposed to be a turn-off?
Mr. Golgotha, Miss Shrek, we're running low on skin. I suggest we harvest another lesbian.
Okay, so it's revealed that all of the vampires are lesbians. There are no heterosexual female vampires. But why are they hunting other lesbians for their skin? And why is there a dude vampire at all? How? They follow Johnny and Maxine to, and I'm not kidding, the lesbian drop-in center, only to find that they've killed everyone there.
Hey, you want to play a game?
Sure.
Close your eyes.
Gotta love that trusting nature.
I love what you're wearing.
Apparently, from that one line of dialogue, Maxine can tell she's a lesbian and bites her. Why would you even come along on this mission? And wait, if you're gay, how come you were rubbing up on Jesus earlier? Because I'm loose and promiscuous. Duh, of course. So Jesus calls in his friends Santos and Gloria to help with the resistance. And if you think that the movie's just throwing in new characters to pad out the running time, what were you really doing the next hour anyway?
Santos, over here, just one photo.
Any truth to the rumors that you're coming out of retirement?
Could you step aside so you get a photo of El Santo?
Yeah, I tried to take some pictures of Santos, but Jesus kept getting in the shot.
Hey man, watch it. You're getting all in the Kool-Aid, and you don't even know the flavor.
I know you know Johnny Golgotha. Tell me where he is.
Hey, I'm as close as 99 is to 100 to Johnny and his crew. But I don't know you from Adam, madam.
Is it weird that this guy kind of reminds me of Cash Money?
Just styling, profiling. Know what I'm saying? Yo.
So Jesus and his friends go to a tavern where Jesus scats for the audience. I never thought I'd say that. But upon looking in a mirror, he discovers nearly everyone in the tavern is a vampire. So he uses whatever stick-like objects are around to throw into their hearts. And to the movie's credit, these scenes are pretty funny. But Santos suddenly falls for one of the gay vampires and is captured, as is Gloria. Jesus is taken to the junkyard for a final confrontation when he sees a familiar face.
Time for revelation, my lord.
Ugh, you should get that looked at. So Jesus finds himself tied to cars and unable to break free. He's just not strong enough. Jesus Christ in a pickle.
Give me strength!
You really haven't done anything that they haven't, my lord. You rose from the dead, so did they. You promised eternal life, so did they. But they offer so much more power.
Once we got over the light of day thing, there was no comparison.
I've got a question, though. Why lesbians?
They're deviants. No one will miss them.
There's nothing deviant about love.
And people will miss them. Have you read the paper? They're about to tear him apart, but Santos decides to lift the chains off himself and free Jesus. Fight scene! fights have definitely improved. It's more clear that they're trying to be funny now. I have to give the movie some props. The premise is pretty out there, but they haven't done anything that's completely stupid and nonsensical, that defies logic and totally mocks your suspension of disbelief.
Unconfirmed reports indicate that none other than Jesus Christ is involved in a winner-take-all fight to the finish with an unknown assailant or assailants. I think I can see him now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible!
What?
But you're at the wrecking yard! On TV live! I'm everywhere.
So basically, he's like Superman. He forgets this totally useful power until... I don't even know why. It's not like someone needed to go back and beat up Dr. Praetorius. Seriously, you could have cut this character entirely after the first scene and we wouldn't have noticed. Oh well, at least now we'll have a huge team of Jesus clones fighting the vampires, right? Well, I hope your clone won the battle with Praetorius because he's Jesus now. It suddenly becomes night, Jesus rips out the stake, his puncture turns into a flashlight, and the light vanquishes the vampires, except one woman that Santos puts a mask and jacket over to protect. It suddenly becomes morning, every vampire has been disintegrated. What? It's about to get really, really dumb, isn't it?
My love cannot heal this woman, my lord. But perhaps yours can. Will you try?
I can work this miracle, Santos. Remove her mask! Santo ha venido.
So he could have restored their humanity at any point. Oh my god. I could have watched Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I could have watched Lincoln! Mary Magnum, not disintegrated, is resurrected and asks if Maxine, who apparently made so much of an impact between I Like Your Outfit and now, could also be brought back. So Jesus goes over to Maxine, not disintegrated, and resurrects her as well to be with Mary. Is this supposed to be fan service? Next! Santos ends up with Maggie, who is actually bisexual and evidently down with fat guys 15 years her senior. Is it done? No. They try to be sweet or deep or something by having Jesus give a little sermon speech at the end, but his message, if you can call it that, is literally, you know what's right, trust yourselves. That is the advice equivalent of being told to go for it without any sort of context. And this is the end of the movie. If they were trying to have a meaningful scene where Jesus acts the most like Jesus, it's too little too late. That was Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, and it... This is obviously a movie they didn't expect you to take seriously. It was made around 2001 and has so much cheese and camp that it was definitely intentional. But plenty of films have done this kind of satire better. It's because there are genuine mistakes and just signs of bad writing mixed in with what they were going for. But I do find the character of Jesus mostly likable, and there are some legitimately funny scenes, especially in the fights. It's weird, and you can probably tell from the review whether or not it's the kind of movie you would see. Although it is a little violent. The only thing more violent would probably be...
Let's start it! Yeah! Why are you doing this? Oh, yeah!
Walking around in this thing, it's not exactly inconspicuous. You might as well be wearing a halo. I think we should get you some new clothes. Something a little more urban.
But I have nothing to hide.
Maybe not, but you sure have a lot to show.